are live from the City of Roses. We breathe the fresh air as Minnesota United FC 2 comes in to face Portland Timbers 2, a team still undefeated at home early on in the season. Based on the early trends, we have no doubt that this will be a close match. Portland Timbers 2 have gone the distance in 4 of their 8 matches. Minnesota United have had 5 matches decided by 1 goal. Let's get into our starting 11s. First for the home side, as Jack Cassidy rolls out a 4-2-3-1. Portland Timbers 2 are looking to sit back. They're happy to play a little bit without possession and hit on the counter. Keep an eye on Griffith and Barjolo out wide as those outlets playing underneath Daniel Cervantes, who comes off of an equalizer last time out in their 3-3 shootout loss to Ventura County FC. As we flip it over and take a look at the starting lineups for Minnesota United 2, and they are led by a familiar man in Portland, Fernando Adi, who returns, the former striker for the Timbers, now the head coach for Minnesota United 2. He rolls out a 3-4-3 look with Anderson Ferris, Dang, and Tarnu at the back. And that midfield is patrolled with a whole lot of quality, the likes of Sam Vigilante, an aggressive midfielder. Luciano Pecota, a more defensive presence, several assists to his name. The 16-year-old Max Harwood back in the starting lineup as well, as Alpha Cabia comes back off of injury and makes his first start in a couple of matches. Those forwards, they speak for themselves. Of course, Marcus Caldera and his 5 goals this season lead the way for Minnesota United FC 2. Minnesota will be in the light blue kits from head to toe, as Portland Timbers don the black and red here at home, and they will stand over the opening kickoff. Just over 60 degrees, the sun shining for this 5 p.m. local kickoff on a busy night across the MLS landscape, and we are so happy that you've joined us for this little portion of fun here in the Pacific Northwest. Portland Timbers trying to keep their undefeated start to the season at home alive, but it's 1 win and 4 draws in 5 here at Providence Park, hoping to go for all 3 points up against a Minnesota United FC team that has seen highs and lows in the early season. And we are underway from Providence Park. Parker Johnson here with you on MLSNextPro.com and, of course, OneFootball, where you can find MLS Next Pro all season long. We know we'll have a fair few audience members from the MLS contingents of these 2 sides, both first teams in action this evening as well, with the Timbers having kicked off about half an hour ago against Montreal, and Minnesota United taking on Colorado in just 30 minutes time. Ondo able to intercept for Portland. He was the man who scored the opening goal last time out against Ventura County FC. The left back out of Madrid leaves it for his teammate to take the throw here. Jack Cassidy could not say enough about the versatility of Charles Ondo, a player who we saw mostly at center back last season. He's played on the left, and even for his country, Equatorial Guinea, for which he has a handful of caps at the senior level. He's even played on the wing for them, and when he grew up, he was a more attacking player. So he has all these different elements to his game, and it really helps what Portland likes to do in the build-up as they free it up the left side, looking for an early cross in. Dealt with well by that Minnesota back line. Enriquez gets a little tug of the jersey there and wins a free kick. taken quickly by Lund. Now it's Griffith, who had to come off in the last match, but fit to play just a few days later, had some sort of upper body injury that required a substitution at the end of the first half. Player who dealt with some injury issues in college, Colin Griffith, where he played at Maryland, and he had a really shining 2024 season. Finished his college career with 9 goals, 6 assists in 46 matches, but missed his entire senior year due to injury. Taken down here by Cervantes in the box. His attacking partner today. Minnesota able to clear their lines. Into the sun, taken away by Enriquez. The steady presence at the base of the Portland midfield. He tangos with Eric Izoita today. Ahead of them, you'll find Lucas Fernandez Kim in the more attacking of the 3 midfield positions for Jack Cassidy. Sam Joseph, the goalkeeper, called into action as he comes outside of his box and launches it up the touchline. Draws a nice round of applause from Cassidy, the 36-year-old out of London. His first year in American soccer. Asked him about that transition, but he said that it's been relatively smooth for him. The club has been extremely welcoming, and with no language barrier coming from the UK, that certainly helped him out as well. But he's a man who has been across a number of countries and continents. He's coached in the Middle East, coached in Scandinavia most recently. So he said that the move didn't really faze him. He's used to switching scenery, and he loves what it's like so far in Portland, and he's really taken to this young team and the chance to shape some of these young players as they develop towards first-team futures. A real focus for Cassidy in Portland on getting the basics right. He said that was the biggest issue against Ventura County FC. They weren't as steady defensively as they typically are. 4 clean sheets this season for Portland. They gave up 3 goals in that match, 3 of the 11 that they've conceded the entire season. He said individually the defending wasn't good enough. They lost a lot of duels, and that is something he harped on over and over in the 2 short days in between matches as both these teams played over the weekend. It's a 3-game week for both. Marcus Caldera bringing in Ferris. Randall plays it on to Ferris. Nobody through the middle, and I think that's because Caldera knew there was an offside flag coming. Just checked on his run a bit. Ferris, such a unique player for Minnesota. He's established himself along the back line. Already the 35th start of his professional career, just 18 years old. His 3rd season as a regular in the team. He's played center back, he's played left back, much like the man on the other side we talked about, Ondo, and equally he has a lot of ability going forward. Had some chances against North Texas on Sunday to potentially crack the code, but Minnesota was unable to do so in their 2-0 defeat. Barjolo. Cabia. Randall, always with an extra trick up his sleeve. He's met well that time by the Portland defender, but a foul whistled against the Timbers. Our head official, Alor Matisu, keeping a tight whistle in the early going. Ondo in the battle on the wing and wins it convincingly. Pressure from Cervantes forces a loose pass from the goalkeeper. Now it's Caldera on the other side of the halfway line, dispossessed by Enriquez brilliantly, and he brings in Griffith. Checking back inside. Colin Griffith. Flying tackle from Philip Tarnu, the Liberian international, who did very well to stand up his man there, not only to stop the initial play, but then also to get it out for a throw and alleviate the danger. It looked like Griffith was in after that pass from Enriquez. Jack Cassidy was definitely aware of the threat that Portland can cause. He is apologize for the brief delay, but now seeing live shots here from Providence Park as Minnesota United back on the ball. Just about 12 minutes in here. No massive chances to speak of from either side. Still in that feeling out stage of the match between a couple teams that are packed right in the middle of the Western Conference standings. In their lone meeting of the season, interdivisional matchup between the Frontier Division in the Pacific, where each team will just play one time this year. Portland forced to do some box defending as Minnesota United 2 advance and set up camp in the attacking half, but this is where the Timbers can spring. It's a clean tackle, I thought, but the referee offers an apology, and it is a free kick to Portland. Fernando Adi was quick to bring up to me the threat that T2 poses on the counter, and he said that was one of the big keys for his team, is just taking care of the ball in possession when they do get into those attacking positions where they have a lot of numbers up the pitch and they're leaving space behind them off of turnovers. They can't give the ball away cheaply. Have to be able to respond well in defensive transition. That's a good early cross, sought out by Daniel Cervantes, and well read by the Minnesota back line. This portion of the match is brought to you by Bank of America. So we get set for our first corner kick of the match. Portland, a real danger for set pieces. They scored off a corner against Ventura County on Sunday. Aizoita blasts it back post, and a confident claim there from Kane Rizvanovic, the United States under-19 national goalkeeper. Requires some action from Sam Joseph, his opposite number. He was smartly out, and I believe a foul had been whistled as they do the quick restart there. It's a risky pass across field, but it does eventually reach its intended target. Starting to see this shape of Portland as they are in possession. Looking like three center backs with Lund, Bamford to his right, and Ondo to his left. And then more of a wing-back component when you look at number 77, Barjolo on the near side, and then it's Connor Ferguson over on the far side. Player who is naturally a left back, happy to play in that wing-back position, but he's been forced to play right back at times. There's been some injuries to Callum Tommy and Bryce Van Voorhis that have shortened the numbers at the outside back positions, and that's been one of the main problems for Jack Cassidy to solve in recent matches. One of the areas where his team was a little bit weak in that performance on Sunday, where they conceded 3 to traveling Ventura County. In the second half, they shifted to this kind of 3-back look, something of a 3-5-2, knowing that they didn't have very natural outside backs that could fit well across a back four. Easier to throw guys in at those wing back positions where they have a little more freedom to go forward. They have that protection of the three center backs behind them, especially for a player like Barjolo, who typically plays as a more advanced attacker on the wing. That's what great coaches do. They work with what they have available. Another off-the-ball foul whistled by the referee. It's been a stop-start first 17 minutes or so. A little cagey between a couple of teams that at times have struggled to find the back of the net this season. Two teams that have decent defensive records, both allowing just 11 goals each on the year. 3 clean sheets for Minnesota, 4 for Portland. But for Minnesota, they've only scored 9 goals in 9 matches. That is the area they're trying to clean up. Spread out wide right. It's a decent shot, that, from Randall. Seen over the top without a save needing to be made from the 22-year-old Sam Joseph. Randall will expect to do better from that position. But it fits the principles of what Fernando Adi wanted his team to work on after their scoreless performances in back-to-back matches against St. Louis City 2 and North Texas. He said that they were moving the ball too slow, and he wants them to introduce a few more skip passes into the game. So the way they got that quickly switched out to Randall fit the bill, and we'll see if they can keep those patterns going. Keep playing the ball quicker in the attacking half, hitting early crosses, hitting early switches. One thing we know they've got, a serious weapon here as Nick Dang comes up for the long throw-in. Just watch how far he is going to chuck this ball. This is going to land inside the 6-yard box. Off the hands of the former UVA defender. Lined in low and headed away by Ondo originally, but now they got to deal with the second ball out. Aizoita spots the release, looking for Griffith, I believe, and swung back in by Minnesota. Decent header, that, from Caldera. Joseph shows as an option as they knock it around the back. Happy to go a little more direct here, seeking out Cervantes. Ferris with room to run into. Randall having a run at Ferguson. Gets to the byline. Overcooks his cross, but Michel is there to pick it up on the far side. Slicing past his defender. Beats Barholo. Top of the box. Lasered in. Caldera. Marcus Caldera, so good at picking up those pockets inside the penalty box. He's a poacher throughout his time at West Virginia, and he's continued that pattern into the pro game. Now in his rookie season, where he's got 5 goals to his name, and he scored in bunches. He had a hat trick in the opener against Austin, and then he had 2 goals in a comeback win against Colorado in quick succession. Alive in the box, but very well done by Joseph to keep him out. Minnesota springing free again. Daniel Micho gets his cross in. Caldera was there again. Ondo cleans up, but nobody up the pitch for Portland to try to get on the end of that clearance. Well beyond Cervantes. It's going to to be tough for them to get out once those wingbacks start sitting in and it becomes more of a back five. This throw-in will be a chance to step that line up a little bit for those in black and red. You're in the halfway point here of the first half of action. Portland with 3 wins on the year, Minnesota with 4. A lot of teams at this point still unbalanced in terms of the number of matches that they've played in MLS Next Pro. One of those examples being Portland only playing twice in the month of April. They have 6 matches here in May. Offside flag up before that cross came in from Ferguson. And this portion of the match is brought to you by Carl's Jr. So T2 has played 1 less match than Minnesota United at this stage. If you look at the points per game, in terms of how successful they've been in their results, to get a sense of where these teams stack up in the table. By that points per game metric, Portland sit 5th in the Western Conference. Minnesota United sit 7th. But it's remarkable because the Timbers, in these 8 matches they have played, they've only lost 1, but it's the fact that they've taken 4 to penalty kicks, and they've only won 1 shootout out of the 4. All of those matches have come at home. They got to try to tip it over and get the full 3 points, and that starts with this critical game against Minnesota. They're working it well here. Edge of the box. Griffith looking for space. Izoita tries to curl it. Timbers fans certainly have seen him do it. He's done it for the first team. He's done it for the second team. That in-swinger from the outside of the box. Sets it up on his left foot. Not as pretty as he imagined on that occasion, but shows you the threat, how Portland can look for different types of attacking sequences. Sometimes they'll shoot more from outside the box. Great pass into Harwood, who rolls it forward, trying to get Michel up the left. Barjolo diligent in his defending. They will leave it here for Nick Dang. Distance on the throw. It comes right back to him to try to serve in a left-footed cross. Cervantes too handsy in the back of Pacoda. Another opportunity for Minnesota to set up a free kick, potentially send this into the box. They got a couple players strolling their way forward. Dang can move over from the throw-in spot and take up place at the back post. Academy player Harwood, who drills it across. Dakota. That was Caldera putting in the cross, and certainly not the position you want him to be in. Ideally, he's on the other end of the action. fairly even in possession so far. Minnesota United with a 4-3 edge in total shots. They've had the best opportunity of the match when Sam Joseph was forced into a close range save from Marcus Caldera. All in from Barjolo. Back post strike, lasered low. Follow-up effort from Griffith. And the defender got just a touch on it. Well marshaled by Philip Tarnu. Often favors the attacking side when you have the type of rip from outside that they took at the back post there, and then it comes in low and almost acts as a cross, and it can catch the defenders off guard sometimes, but Tarnu very alert inside his own area. Jack Cassidy taking the reins, making sure that Bamford's the one who tosses this one in. A chance to push that line forward a touch. Ondo. Enriquez. Poor giveaway from Ondo. He's left some space out on the right. Caldera coming through. Just enough of a tackle from Lund to get it in a position where Bamford could clean it all up. Nearly a costly mistake for Portland, dwelling in possession. Overall, though, the intensity has matched what Jack Cassidy was hoping for. Really wanted to see his team get stuck in and win more of their duels, be a little more aggressive. He was disappointed with the defending as they gave up 3 first-half goals the last time out against Ventura County. Barjolo, big touch pass, setting up the shot. Top save there from Rizvanovic, and not only that, but keeping it alive for his defender to carry away. But a 6'4" Rizvanovic using every inch of that frame to stop Barjolo's shot. And this portion of the match is brought to you by Old Trapper. Probably getting to be about snack time. I know they're probably at halftime or so in the Timbers first team match against Montreal, and the Loons going head-to-head with Colorado. That game kicking off momentarily, but we hope you keep us popped open, at least on your second screen, Minnesota fans. There's a long way to go in this match, and Minnesota United, too, has had a tendency to play entertaining ones. The last time that these teams met, it was a 1-1 draw last year, right here in Providence Park. Portland coming away with the shootout win. And when you go back further than that, you take a look at all 7 previous matchups between these two in MLS Next Pro, you'll see that there's been an average of 4.9 combined goals per game. Now, obviously, we're well short of a 5-goal pace here, but considering how tight both these teams have played this season, you can expect it to be a competitive match all the way through. It does not, in fact, go a little bit beyond the 90 to another shootout. Would be a huge surprise. But a undefeated home record on the line for T2 as we are nearly halfway through May, and that is definitely something to be proud of. A club still searching for its first playoff appearance in MLS Next Pro. That was a feat that Minnesota accomplished last season under head coach Jeremy Hall, with Fernando Adi serving as his assistant. Randall not on the same page. Lovely touch there from Barjolo. He's found more space up the right. Acrobatic clearance from Cavia. Feeling the pressure and rolling there was Vigilante. Randall on the move again. Defended by Ondo, who forces him right. It's a desperate effort from Darius Randall. Player with 2 goals to his name this season. Hasn't made the most of some of his early opportunities in this match, either to score or to potentially cross. Randall has not found the back of the net since a game-winning goal he scored back on March 22nd against Sporting Kansas City 2. Also had the only non-Marcus Caldera goal of the 4 they scored in their season opener against Austin. Great pass through as Ferguson bursts through the lines. Left-footed drive, knocked off the defender, out for a corner. A little bit of frustration in the tracking back from that Minnesota back line, asking for some help from their midfielders and their attackers. Very simple for Portland to play it through the lines, but that's the advantage you have with the wing backs. Ferguson able to combine and get in behind. 35th minute. Back post ball, Ondo. Well challenged. And it's seen out by Minnesota. Barjolo with a neat touch. Izoita. Fighting with Enriquez to get it out. Peeled away brilliantly. Only one man ahead with the run was Michel. Randall receives. Randall beats his man. Flicked across. Nobody home for Minnesota United. Pacoda. Swept over to Ferris. He can't keep it in play. The connection's just not quite forming in the final third for Minnesota, and that has been really the story of the season for him. Talking to Fernando Adi about how his team can make improvements and start putting some balls in the back of the net after all of these many games where they've held big edges in possession. They've outshot their opponents, and on many occasions have actually played for a man up. In 5 of their matches this season, remarkably, the opposing team has received a red card against Minnesota United. And yet to only be scoring 1 goal per match, which is tied for last in MLS Next Pro. He said, we've been speaking about the same thing for the last 2 months. We play really well, we keep the ball, we do everything right, but we're not getting the goals. And so this week in training, there was an increased emphasis on finishing in the limited time that they had after Sunday's match against North Texas. You look at some of the figures that they put up against NTSC, and it was truly staggering. Minnesota had 64% possession, again, up a player for the majority of the second half. They outshot North Texas 15-4. They had 40 touches in the box compared to just 5 for North Texas, who scored twice. And they outcrossed North Texas 36-0, completing 8 of those crosses. All that and no goals to show for it. Coaches often say that attack is the last piece to click, especially when you've got a new group of players or a new coach implementing a new system. That seems to be the case early on in the year, but they've still found results, Minnesota. Press slowly advancing for Minnesota United 2. Finally, they win it. And that looks like a clear, cautionable tackle from Benjamin Barjolo. He earns the game's first yellow card from Alor Matisu.
Yellow card showing the T2, number 77, Benjamin Barjolo. Barjolo given the caution card for T2.
Michel to set this one up. Bodies at the back post, stacked up. But the whistle had gone for an offside. Strong line held by the T2 back line. Staying together, staying in unison. Not been the sharpest 40 minutes for either side, and perhaps that is to be expected. These young players in the middle of a 3-match week. One that for Portland will span 7 days, and for Minnesota just 6. Decent shot picked out by Cervantes. The angle was just against him all the way, and Rizvanovic, the form that he has shown, had that well covered. Again, the idea good from Portland, but the execution slightly lacking on the overhit pass. Three minutes till the halftime break. Beautiful touch, and then the offside trap. Well played from T2. They knew they were in a vulnerable position there, and you can see the applause from Jack Cassidy down on the sidelines as he appreciates the awareness from his center backs, stepping up at just the right moment to make sure that Caldera would go offside. They knew that when Vigilante took that magnificent touch through the lines, he'd probably be thinking about playing a first-time pass as soon as it was back to his feet, and just took that moment where he had to look down to go pass it and let the strikers run through. Very well executed. Randall popped up on the left. Now the switch of play. Cut out by Ferguson. Did well on the first ball, and then beaten to it on the second, but does win a throw in. There's just over a minute left until first half stoppage time. Ferguson, early cross. Looking for the darting run of Cervantes. Launched along by Rizvanovic. Commanding header from Ondo. And getting word here that there will be no additional stoppage time once we hit the 45-minute mark. So just about 30 seconds left to play, and fairly so. It's been a rather uneventful first half, but the play has certainly kept ticking on. Just the one yellow card, couple of fouls, but overall, pretty smooth proceedings. No stoppage time necessary. Eric Izoida trying to change that. Flip forward, back to Izoida. Gets past his man. The referee all over it. There was some half-hearted shouts from Portland for a potential penalty kick. That will do it for the first half of action between Portland Timbers 2 and Minnesota United 2. Our score at the half is 0-0. But coming up in our halftime show, we will get to know a talented young player carving out his path in the Big Apple, and an announcement that will shift the landscape of Next Pro. Plus, highlights and stats after this brief timeout.
Should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro.
Welcome back, everybody. There is no shortage of success stories in MLS coming out of the New York market. Another solid young player is making his way with NYCFC. So let's get to know Arno Farnos.
I think for sure was my mom. She was the first one to know it because she was working, and I sent her a message and I was like, please don't call because we have a meeting right now. But like I have to tell you, like they just told me like they want me to sign first team deal. So she was like, oh my god. Yeah, it was definitely my mom. Hi, I'm Arnau Farnos, and I'm a midfielder / winger, and I play for New York City FC. When I signed here with the second team, my goal was always to be part of the first team, and since the moment I got drafted, that was my goal, that was my dream. And nothing is easy, you know, so that's why you have to work for it. Every call-up is an opportunity, and I'm thankful for the coaches to give me those opportunities. But like, it's not about the games, it's about every day, how you practice, how you prepare yourself, physically and mentally. And when the opportunity comes, that you have to be ready and know that if you have the opportunity, you have to prove yourself. They push you a lot, which is a really good sign. But they also have a really good connection with the team, special connection with the players also. And they are open, which is also important for a player because it gives you confidence when you play and when you train. And he was always super close, coach and all the staff, and give me a lot of confidence to me. And that's why I feel like I'm super happy for being part of this team, for the confidence from the staff and also from the players. One of the things, for example, Nico always says when he's here is like, and I've took it from all the players as well, but like, you are doing what you like and what's your passion. So coming here to practice, you are privileged, you know, having this job, because you are doing something that you really like and you really can, you grow with it. And coming here every day, yeah, there is people working for you, for the treatment, they're cooking for you. And how many people would love to have and to be in the position that you are right now? So I would say just enjoy the moment, push yourself in the moment that you have to push yourself, and yeah, enjoy. Super excited at the moment when I saw the ball going in. I kind of didn't believe it at the beginning, but after it was like a happiness feeling, you know, especially after with all my teammates, like they congratulated me at the end of the game, and everybody came to support me and saying congratulations, and it was a really happy moment and special moment in my career. I think I had a lot of good coaches in my career. I would say probably when I was at Celta, I would say Claudio. But I would say my best moment playing soccer was the decision to make here and go to college. The 4 years at Oregon State with all the coaches I had and all the staff I had, they really helped me develop myself physically and mentally. And I think it was the step that I needed in order to be a professional soccer player. So I'm super grateful for the opportunity that the Oregon State gave me. Keep supporting us, keeping showing ourselves, keep coming to our games, because probably right now we are not having the best, we are not in the best moment of the season, but we're for sure gonna come back, and we're for sure gonna give some happy news soon to the fans.
Very excited to be here officially. You know, I helped out a little bit last year. You know, I really enjoyed my time working with the players, working with the staff. So, you know, I'm glad to be able to be on the staff full time and be involved. towards the end of my career, I started thinking about what I wanted to do, post playing, and coaching was something that for a while I didn't know if I wanted to do it. When my kids started to get a little bit older and I started doing it with them, I started enjoying it, and I thought, I had a lot of knowledge that I could pass down to young players. That was kind of an easy decision after thinking about it. There's lots of different things that I can teach them from my career, but also the mentality, the intensity, the winning mentality is what I want to bring to the young guys, because they're going to need that. I played at a high level college, and I was still like a little bit overwhelmed when I first got here, and it's the adaptation. If you don't do it quick at that time, then you were kind of out of the system. But now I think, especially with the academy and bringing those guys up and then moving into a environment like MLS Next Pro with North Texas, then I think it's a big jump in the quality of everything that is involved with this, and I think it's huge for developing players. I think there used to be a lot of guys who kind of got pushed out of the system if it wasn't working right away, but now those guys maybe get a second chance and can develop into good players. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, it feels like home. Like you said, I've been here for a long time. I know a lot of people here. I knew John beforehand. I knew a lot of the other staff beforehand, and even some of the players I still know. So it's just nice to be back in a familiar environment and be able to give these players my knowledge. This year, I think my goal is to improve our defensive solidarity. Obviously, I want to try to improve individually the players in the defensive line, help them improve their tendencies. But as a unit, I want our group to be solid and to give up less goals. That's always the goal. And for me, that was like my big thing as a player throughout my career. I always wanted to give up less goals, and I think that's something I want to pass on to these defensive players.
MLS has agreed to a deal that will see global investment firm KKR make a strategic investment and partner with MLS Next Pro. KKR will inject capital into MLS Next Pro with an eye on growing the league and its footprint around the continent. In conjunction with MLS, the partnership will oversee commercial strategy as it looks to move the 27 MLS-affiliated Next Pro teams into new markets, with an eye on building brands within those communities and seeking stadium development deals. We will no doubt see and hear more about this in the coming seasons. Now we'll take you over to our first half highlights from Providence Park, where Timbers 2 and Minnesota United 2 combined for 15 shots in that first period, but only 3 of them finding the target. So it was a lot of good defensive plays, good goalkeeping as well. Kane Rizvanovic was involved in quite a few sequences, and just some shots that missed the mark, quite frankly. Randall had a couple good opportunities. Nice move here from Michel as he got free and set up what was the closest chance of the half for either team. Nice defensive plays by both the goalkeeper Joseph and Ondo to get the second ball out. And Rizvanovic making some saves toward the latter half of the second period. This was the best of the bunch from the Minnesota goalkeeper, denying Barjolo from a tight angle. And then he was there to stop Cervantes as well. So those were your 3 shots on target for Timbers, and unable to find the back of the net. So all square after 45 as halftime continues here from Providence Park. Be right back.
should be a fun season of MLS Next Pro. Oh my! Pedrinho wins it!
The unique energy of a Sunday night. Ideal for calm music, whispers, stargazing, reflection, and a relaxed environment. Sunday nights were made for this.
Welcome back, everybody. Parker Johnson here with you on MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball, as we are just a minute or two away here from the start of the second half between Portland Timbers 2 and Minnesota United 2, an interdivision matchup between Frontier and Pacific foes out in the Western Conference on this gorgeous Wednesday night in the Pacific Northwest. Looking at those first half stats as they tallied off, Timbers had the better of the play overall. They got 9 shots, forcing 3 saves out of Kane Rizvanovic in the Minnesota net, and they were also able to have a slight advantage with 2 corners to 0, and both teams caught offside 3 times, kind of showing that there was that attacking intent, even though we didn't ultimately find a first half goal. No subs to report coming out of the halftime break. Certainly expecting to see some changes, though, before we get too deep into the second half, because this is the second leg out of 3, if you will, for these teams in a 3-match week. Both playing last weekend, both playing this upcoming weekend, and then this midweek match smuggled right in between. Of course, much tougher task for Minnesota as the road team, so we'll see how the coaches decide to freshen things up as the second half continues. All we await is the whistle from Malor Matisu, who gets the ball rolling in the second half as Minnesota United 2 with the first advance up the pitch. Tarnu's ball a little loose, and easy pickings there for Sam Joseph. Played out in many ways as we expected across 45 minutes. 2 teams that have essentially even records on the year. 14 points apiece accumulated through 8 games for Portland, through 9 games for Minnesota. 2 teams who have played a lot of barn burners. You think about Portland tying half of their matches, and then Minnesota United, although they've only tied 1 match and sent it to a shootout, 5 of their 9 contests have been decided by just 1 goal, and they've gone 3-2 in those matches. So we don't expect there to be a lot between these 2 teams. Both full of academy talent. Portland skewing slightly older, but even some of the pro players that they've brought in are players who started off in their academy. One player we didn't see from the start, who is a fixture for Portland, is Noah Santos, their leading goal scorer coming into this match with 3 on the season. He also has an assist, and he is by far their leader in shots with 30 on the season through 8 matches, putting half of those on target. You do feel like without him out there, there's a slight lack of sharpness in the attack. They're going for more of a 2-striker look in this game, with Griffith dovetailing with Cervantes and the wing backs outside of them in a 3-5-2 shape. Santos is available from the bench, though, should Jack Cassidy call upon him. And like we said, 3-match week. Not terribly surprising to see some rotation with the starting lineup to make sure that their team is fit for the next match. And it is Portland now in the attack. Izoita trying to dance his way through. Dispossessed by Vigilante, who seeks out the early ball over the top for Randall. Host of other matches taking place in MLS X Pro tonight as well. Huntsville up 1-0 on FC Cincinnati 2. This ball awkwardly set back to the goalkeeper. It looks like he kept it in play, though, at least. Saved it from going out for a corner. Falls out to Ferguson. Seeking service, and no Portland players there to try to get on the end of it. Very well-shaped cross from the former Leeds United Academy product, Connor Ferguson. A burst of pace from Michel. Option on the backside. Randall was there. More good goalkeeping. We have seen it from both men between the pipes. That time, Joseph coming out to claim the cross. Cervantes onside. Won't get past the top defender in Tarnu. Joseph picks out Ferguson. Now they move with some pace. Ferguson on the overlap. Izoita carries. Izoita into the area. And he needed to release it a split second sooner. Gave just enough time for Alpha Cavia to get back and win it. But taken quickly now by Portland. Griffith. Oh, a beautiful strike. He maneuvers his way around the defender, and he hits it with so much venom. The touch from Rizvanovic, not enough to keep it out. And that is Colin Griffith with his second professional goal. An absolute stunner. big old smile on the face of the Pennsylvania kid. Came through by way of Maryland. Had to be subbed off in the last match against Ventura County with an injury. But made his way onto the pitch tonight, and he gets some congratulations from his coach for this fine, fine effort. As we take another look, just cranks it past Rizvanovic. We have our breakthrough, 52nd minute. Now up to Minnesota to find a response. Remember, Portland scored first against Ventura County before giving up 3 goals without reply in the first half, before eventually fighting that back to 3-3 by full time. Bamford nudges off Michel. Rushing the Costa Rican forward aside as Portland playing with an extra spring in their step. Cervantes on the move. Flag up for offside. Team that really feeds on energy. That much was clear talking to Portland head coach Jack Cassidy during the week. He said even at sometimes it can get to be a little too much for the young players. He referenced their huge 3-0 away win against Rail Monarchs and the amazing energy that was there on that road trip, but it led to a bit of a dip that following week as they took that into the Ventura County game and perhaps came in a bit overconfident, feeling like they had completed football, in his words. But of course, it was just one match. And so there's definitely been an emphasis on establishing that level of professionalism necessary to not get too high, not get too low, no matter the state of each individual game or what result you come away with in the end. Everyone taken quickly. Daniel Michel. Ferris sets himself up for the cross. Randall has to play it across, and Caldera snatching at it. I think he snuck it between the defender's legs, but not able to really generate any power on the knockdown from Randall. Better sequence, though, from Minnesota, as this game has taken on a bit of life. And meanwhile, Portland readying a couple of replenishments from the subs bench. Not expect them to sit on this lead. They are bringing on 2 attackers. Smooth step forward. Aizoita levied across. Griffith, rather Fernandez Kim into the area. Enriquez. Tired touch from Connor Ferguson, but good interplay from Portland. And now we'll see those 2 switches. It'll be Maximilian Kiesel as Lucas Fernandez Kim makes way, playing in that attacking midfield position. And then Noah Santos, aforementioned, makes his way onto the pitch and replaces Benjamin Barjolo. Barjolo was on a yellow card, so that could be part of that decision. Definitely two positive moves from Jack Cassidy on the Portland touchline, having just scored. They bring on two quality attacking players. Kiesel, a rookie drafted in the third round by Inter Miami out of the Vermont Catamounts program, where he scored a game-winning goal in the national championship game. Portland defend well in the shadow of their own goal. It's a tough bounce there for Rizvanovic. He's able to head it up and keep it alive just long enough to get a better clearance on it. Nearly disastrous. One thing that you'll get as well with the entrance of Kiesel up top playing alongside Cervantes, those were two players who put in a lot of defensive work, as Kiesel, right on cue, wins it back. Has Cervantes out on the right. Dribbling at his defender, committing him. Kiesel breaks through, and it's a perfect finish. Portland doubles the lead. Just 7 minutes after Griffith opened the scoring. Apologies, that was Cervantes with the final touch. Third goal of the season, second match in the row that he's on the score sheet. Brilliant work from Portland. So calm with the keeper rushing out at him. May have gone under Rizvanovic in the end. A player who Jack Cassidy said you can feel the experience that he brings, having come up through the Sacramento Republic Academy, played professionally in Mexico before joining with Timbers 2. What's his class on display just before the 60-minute mark? Tough tackle off the ball, and it does present an opportunity for Adi to bring in a couple of substitutes. See the entrance of Jacob Friedman, number 36, and Troy Putt, a New Zealand attacker, as Michel departs. And we will wait to find out who that other sub was. Harwood coming out for Friedman. Portland with The regain right off the free kick. Turning the corner. Still numbers in the box. Minnesota scrambling to defend. Griffith with a great move to get it back. Free kick on the way for Portland in the attacking half. Trying to land the knockout blow here. See if they can pick up a third goal in 12 minutes after opening the scoring in the 52nd. Drill it low. Comes out for the second ball in. Played tantalizingly in front of goal. Minnesota able to clear before any red and black shirts arrived. Swung in from the left. Defender falling to his backside, still able to manage a clearance. Santos keeps it in. Somehow the ball stayed in play, and that will benefit Portland. Racing inside to the back post. Santos at full stretch. This portion of the match is brought to you by Toyota. 65th minute from Providence Park. Two early second half goals to set T2 out in front. Looking for their second home win of the season. Trying to maintain their unbeaten mark here in Portland. Had one win and 4 draws in their 5 previous home matches, which still counts as unbeaten, even though they did drop 3 of those 4 shootouts. Gotten points to the board every single time, and it looks like that will be the case again today, but if Minnesota can find the next goal, all of a sudden, it would feel like game on. They've got the attacking firepower to do so. How much is in the tank? Dakota to serve. And the referee was ready to call the foul before that ball even made its way towards the hands of Sam Joseph. Kiesel checking to feet. Knocked behind for a T2 corner. They were impressive from set pieces. Last time out, scoring 2 goals off dead balls, both set up by Eric Izoita, who wanders over to the corner flag. Minnesota United 2 on high alert. Santos the short option. Izoita sends it back in. Falls for Griffith, much like the first. Unable to get it out of his feet enough. Really a stark example of just how impressive that first goal he scored was. To get the timing right on a volley when you're at the edge of the area and the other team's defenders are going to be dying to close you down. It's so rare that it comes off as sweetly as it did for Griffith. Ferris brought himself into a tough challenge, but he's drawn the yellow card from the opposing player there. Yellow card given out to Izoida. Ferguson, lots of space in behind the back line. Closed down again by Kabia. Without him putting out the fires, the scoreline could look a lot more lopsided at this point. Yellow card will go against Ferguson there. They're starting to stack up, but Portland with a 2-goal lead to defend. Need to take a couple for the team in the closing stages. So long as they can hang on to this clean sheet, it would be their 5th of the season, which would tie them for the most in MLS Next Pro. This portion of the match is brought to you by Tillamook. Another stoppage in play as the foul goes Portland's way, and they will bring on another pair of subs. Danny Nunez coming into the match. The youngest ever signing. And he is joined by Cole Crothers, coming off of a 4-year college career playing D1 ball for Rutgers. But he was in the Timbers Academy before he went off to school and played there from 2017 to 2022. Does have 1 goal off the bench this season. Nunez with 1 assist in his 7 appearances this year. Just the 3rd time that he has come off the bench. much more often in the starting lineup, but as we've said a couple of times, definitely some rotation needed for both sides. Won't get any easier this week, that's for sure. In addition to the short turnaround, it's two very tough opponents in the next match for either team. Portland will travel to face San Jose Earthquakes 2 on the road. And for Minnesota United, they will take on the buzzsaw that has been Houston Dynamo Dos this season. It's a very odd stretch of the season for Minnesota. You look at the way that their schedule has shaken out in the opening months. They started the year with 6 straight matches away from home. Chased down here by Randall. So much space in the box. Caldera covering. And Lund sees it out. Caldera's had chances. Hasn't turned them into much, but there have been some loose balls in the penalty area. He's made some runs to get in the right spots, and a player of his quality, kind of surprised that he hasn't been able to fashion a stronger shot or force a better save from the goalkeeper to this point. 5 goals on the year, Caldera. Pretty good near post service, punched away. Troy with the hit. Valiant defending from the Timbers. Checking inside, shooting, skewing high. Took a deflection over the top. More pressure being mounted by the visitors. Mentioned that big stretch of away games to start the year. Then it was 9 out of 10 at home, and this is the only away match in that stretch. They just came off 3 in a row in Minnesota. They'll be back for another 6 after this. So just got to manage this one trip, get through it. See if they can conjure up any drama in the final 15 minutes. There's another corner on the way. Dang, darting around. Calamity of bodies at the near post. Another corner. Troy delivers and the header over the top. Whistle from the referee. Unclear exactly what the decision was here. They want them to retake the corner. It seemed as if he spotted some tugging inside the area, but didn't want to give a foul either way, so they'll just do it again. 77th minute now. Nunez with a bold attempt to keep that ball in play down in the corner, and it will just hand it right back to Minnesota United 2. Knocked towards the back post. Set and finished, and it's 2-1 with 14 minutes to go. That is Sam Vigilante tallying his first professional goal. The Princeton product. Only scored 3 times in 4 years there. Gets his first of the season for Minnesota. And what an important goal that could be in the scope of this match. All the pressure finally paying off. was starting to look almost like that game against North Texas, where they had all these corners, all these shots, and were held off the board, but they find the first goal here. Could this be the start of a comeback? Think back to that decision as well from Danny Nunez as he was all the way down in the corner, had a chance to clear it up the line or potentially just kick it out of play. Decided to try to make an infield pass that gave it right back to Minnesota, and 2 touches later, it was in the back of the net. Tarnu opens up his body. Went for the early cross, which is what Adi has asked for, but the quality not quite there. And here's another look at the goal. Deep service in. Randall knew he couldn't do anything with it, so he just plays it back across, and Vigilante with perfectly timed run. It is a simple finish from there. And sloppy defending from Portland on the second phase after defending so many of those free kicks, and they did so well to stay organized, but that's what you see time and time again when there's a slight break in the play and then the players are trying to get back to their positions. Some wires get crossed and somebody left open. Lovely work from Noah Santos. Leaving defenders in the dust, but as soon as Ferguson joins in, he's giving it away. Randall on the run. Santos tracking back. Positive goalkeeping from Sam Joseph to read the cross and cut it out. Clear offside on Kiesel as Minnesota steps their lineup. Fans, this portion of the match is brought to you by Ford. Just 10 minutes left to go after Portland was able to accrue a 2-goal lead early in the second half. It was a 52nd minute strike from Colin Griffith, followed by a 60th minute tally from Danny Cervantes. The pressure grew, and in the 77th, Sam Vigilante struck. Tarnu slid away by Enriquez. Watchful as ever, feeling the pressure from behind and going down, keeping possession of the ball somehow, and finally drawing the whistle from the referee. Connor Ferguson has run his socks off at that left wing-back spot. He will be replaced by a 16-year-old academy product, Henry Mueller. Mueller made his pro debut in the opening match of the season against San Jose. Notched back-to-back starts across March and April, now making his 6th appearance in his debut pro season. Should be a like-for-like swap there. Wing-back spot. This 3-5-2 for Portland has been working. One area where Portland statistically have struggled this season, they rank second to last in MLS Next Pro with an average of just 43% possession. Much easier to see out the course of a game when you're able to stroke the ball around confidently and make that other team chase a little bit. But right now they're struggling to hold on to it. Going long, maybe a pass or two too quickly. Saw it in the stages leading up to Minnesota's 77th minute goal as they continue to pile on pressure. Portland does have that tendency to be dangerous on the counterattack, but when you just let the other team have the ball, it can make for some nervy moments in the final minutes. Their goal would do him a world of good. Crothers. Well played out to Mueller. Santos teasing ball. Didn't meet the run on the back stick. Rolled out by Rizvanovic. Tapia slamming the door shut on Noah Santos. Swung in, knocked off the chest of the Portland defender. Not a handball, as the Minnesota players wanted to suggest. The hold-up play from Portland did well there to earn a free kick and allow their team to step the line up a little bit. Hector Cruz getting ready to come in for Fernando Adi. He replaces Luciano Pacoda. Cruz, another academy player.
Substitution for Minnesota into the match. Number 75, Hector Cruz, replacing number 90.
Third appearance of the season.
Pacoda.
He'll play in the attacking central areas. High looped ball. Santos with time to bring it down, or so he thought. Challenge from behind, and it's won cleanly by Minnesota, trying to go the other way. Swung out by Enriquez. Joseph not taking any risks. Taking the long way out as Portland pick up the second ball. Mueller advancing, drawing in a challenge and winning the free kick. From the jump, we thought this would be close. Comes down to the final 4 minutes. Portland with a 1-goal advantage, and Eric Izoita serving it in, hit at the near post, and it flashes off the outside of the side netting.
Any word on added time?
Caldera's been kept quiet. A crunching challenge from Enriquez. Minnesota coming away with it. Troy finds the overlap. just about kept in play. Back post ball, tracked down. Tarnu with it. Randall driving end line. Let it run just a bit too far. Just the closest of the 3 MLS Next Pro matches this evening. Portland hoping to see the result over the line. Izoita cut out by Vigilante, Minnesota's goal scorer. The tired leg showing from the visitors. Unable to secure possession. See the frustration from Randall as he wants this to be taken quicker. It is sent back into play. Ondo with a minute to go. Izoita cleverly through. Santos takes it past. Cutback was on to get it back to Eric Izoita there, but Santos always fancies himself to beat his man. Trying to set something up even better. We'll take a corner for a deep throw-in. Chance to bleed off some more clock. 4 minutes of stoppage time to come.
Court officials announced there'll be a minimum of 4 minutes of stoppage time in the second half. 4 minutes.
Tossed in by the Timbers. Troy looking for options. Vigilante picks it up. Cabia. Cruz can't catch up. You know who's going to take this throw in. Nick Dang coming forward. That piece is the ultimate equalizer, and he turns every throw into one. This one angled towards the near post. Made it a little tougher for Caldera. As Joseph comes out and claims. You can see the visual count coming from the referee. 8 seconds is the most he can take. Works right up against it and then sends it long. Foul whistled against Portland. Minnesota take quickly. They got numbers through the middle. Troy advancing on the outside. Defended by Bamford. Forced to push it back. Ferris swings it in. A decent ball as well, but Portland have done so impressively on those crosses. Keeping their marks. Staying alert for the presence of Marcus Caldera in the middle. And even when the passes in have found him, the defenders have been able to stay close enough to make his shooting space difficult, as Santos able to draw a cheeky foul down in the corner where they want it. game management clinic at the moment from Timbers 2 here at Providence Park. A team that has been so hard to beat all season, just one loss in their first 8 matches. And looking confident with a 2-1 advantage and just 45 seconds left to see this over the line. Down goes Ferris. Play continues. Portland running for the corner again. Throw to the home side, and that should take us pretty close to 94. A comprehensive performance highlighted by 2 early second half goals that gave them enough cushion to concede one in the 77th. As Portland stays undefeated at home. Now 2 wins and 4 draws in their 6 matches here in the Pacific Northwest this season. And we present to you our man of the match, brought to you by Adidas, none other than Colin Griffith, the Portland Timbers 2 forward, who pulled off this beauty in the 52nd minute. Put that one on the highlight reel, and you can watch it over and over and over again. A volley that opened the scoring after a very back and forth, cagey contest between 2 teams right in the middle of the pack in the Western Conference. But Portland advances, they pick up 3 points, and they will go again on Sunday. And for the rest of our MLS Next Pro broadcast crew, my name is Parker Johnson, signing off from Providence Park. Our final score is Portland 2, Minnesota 1. Don't forget, you can watch MLS Next Pro all season long at MLSNextPro.com and OneFootball. Have a great night, everybody.
This copyrighted broadcast of Major League Soccer may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Major League Soccer.